All right, and we're back, and it's time for
Yep.
anyway. So today, you you touched on it a little bit. We wanted to talk about defunding the police. Is it really
Mhm.
necessary? So a lot of people, I think the problem with defunding the police is that so many people rush to the words without understanding the meaning. I saw Megan McCain, she got quote unquote what the kids say now owned on the View because she asked Kamala Harris, who was on a guest that day. She was like, I disagree with defunding the police. I think it's wrong. And what do you think? And Kamala Harris was like, well, first of all, what do you consider defunding the police? And Megan's like, I don't know what it means. So how can you not agree with something that you don't know what it is? And that's the problem with so many people. They don't understand it, and they didn't even want to take the time to research it. Like Megan is on The View. Like, bitch, research the shit before you get. You're gonna have Kamala Harris on there, and you're gonna ask her
Well,
a question. Know the answer.
well, the thing with her is that they usually give her a quick synopsis, the same way that they did with Hasselbeck. They give her a quick synopsis of kind of like the ideas of what they're going to talk about. I
But
also
it's up
think
to
that
her
there's a.
to research it. That ain't their fault.
I think the problem with that is that because she's not in a studio, there's a lag of communication as far as like what snapshots of words are. I'm gonna say this. So there is an article on it's on scholars.com, right? And the article delves into how media and copious amounts of media shapes how Americans see the world. So many marketing companies, as we transitioned into from the 50s and 60s, transitioned into a consumer society, media and how we view things have been shaped as far as like our television, our marketing campaigns, magazines, things like that. And that also evolves as technologies change. So we have quick snippets of news, chyrons at the bottom, things like that to really shape how we communicate. As we begin to elevate our consumerism, we have begin to the delineation of our education has has begun.
Just speak
So
plainly. Don't get caught up because I know you like to get caught up in. Just talk to me like you're talking to me. Because
I
most
am
of these
talking to
people
you.
don't. Most people don't.
What do you mean? I am talking to you how I'm talking to you.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not?
No, because you when we like these mofos don't even know what the hell's going on. That's how you talk. That's how we have conversations together. Sometimes I think both of us get caught up in the trying to sound like we really how we really feel when in actuality the people that follow us don't follow us that way. So
I
go ahead. The delineation.
okay. It's an article. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want you to finish.
I'm not gonna finish.
Why?
I just don't want to talk about it anymore. So back to so The View. Go ahead.
No, I just think that she, regardless whether she's in a studio or not,
Mm-hmm.
she should she should do her research, especially when you
Mm-hmm.
have somebody like Kamala, and not even just Kamala, anybody on there. I think that's one
Right.
of her drawbacks is that she has her mind made up, and she already goes in with a viewpoint, quote unquote, pun intended, about something. The problem is that I don't think in this particular situation she expected Kamala to turn the question back on her. I think she was
Right.
looking for a gotcha moment and she didn't get it.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They see defunding the police to be like, let's take the money away from police, let's abolish the police, and that's not what it is.
Well, defunding doesn't mean the same as
It's not that way.
abolishing. Well, but so what were the terms that were used when they took funding away from education? Because maybe we should use those terms because nobody had a problem with that.
I don't know. I'm not really, I didn't really do the research on that, but I think like we know people who don't feel like because they've had education that where they had books and computers and things like that. You think everybody has that. School is
Well,
school is stupid. You still there?
I'm here.
My video shut down. Oh, sorry. My video shut down. I'm like, anyway. Well, they consider school as for fools. You know what I mean? Who needs education? There you see all these stories of people that go to college, don't finish, and become successful. Look at Diddy. Went to
Mhm.
Howard University, didn't finish. Look at Bill Gates.
Yeah, but look at what Howard University provided him as far as like the trajectory of his career. Look at Bill Gates. No, he didn't finish, but look at what the trajectory of that basis of education provided.
But
I
they're,
just want to know. So if
they're
people don't like the name, if they don't like the snapshot of defund the police, so what do we need to say? Because when we were taking money away from education and educational programs, and before school programs, after school programs, trade programs, nutritional value for our children, whatever words that we use then, maybe we should use it now, because it seems like the word defund, not abolish, defund, doesn't seem to resonate well with American society. So I'm just curious as to
I
what
honestly
word
don't think it
to
should be
use.
changed because if we would have used the perfect word, I don't think it would have gotten any attention. There's certain things in our history that are so polarizing that people start talking and start bringing attention to it. The loudest
Mhm.
voices
Right,
bring about the most attention. You know what I mean?
right,
And so by
right.
saying defund the police, I think it brought people to the table where they're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then it forced other people to explain to them, this is what it means. Had they
But
said, let's reallocate funds throughout the police department, people probably wouldn't have been like giving it as much attention. But defund the
mhm.
police, you're like, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? What I'm trying
I
to
just
say,
still feel like, but it's funny because I still feel like the education of it, they're still not being heard.
they're
So,
gonna learn. They're gonna learn. If
so
they want to
LA,
learn, if they're gonna learn, if they want to learn.
it looks like LA County has reallocated $100 million of the police funding to
Right.
programs in minority communities. Baltimore County has reallocated 22 million and reallocated to rec centers, trauma centers, forgivable loans for Black-owned businesses. I would like to see what that entails, because usually when you get these forgivable loans, there's a lot of circles and hoops that you got to run into. But we'll see.
And black
So
owned.
I'm
Let's be
curious.
real. What is like every I for really side note, I was looking for black because yesterday was Juneteenth. I was like, let me get some food from a black owned restaurant. The top three restaurants, the third one that showed up was Blackstone. I was like, Blackstone's black owned?
So you got somebody, a silent partner for 5%,
No,
and now
no,
you're
it's just
Black-owned.
because the word black.
Black. Oh boy. Okay,
So it's like
that's
really,
interesting.
yeah. So black owned.
Okay.
There's certain people like you have to really be thoughtful about when you say black owned businesses. Like
Yeah,
who's going to take advantage of that title? But go ahead.
but I'm curious.
So you're saying
No,
LA?
but yeah, no. So I'm just curious to see what these if Baltimore County, what forgivable loans for Black-owned businesses. I would like to see that, what that entails. But so when we're reallocating funds and it looks like they're putting it towards a lot of it towards education, I'm curious to see how um, that argument is countered against.
The thing about it
So
is like you were mentioning state like New York City allocates $6 billion to the NYPD. 6 billion.
NYPD, I will say this. So I am very pro cop. I'm pro cop friendly. I also think that they need to have
I
better
think
training
most people
programs.
are actually.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm only going to talk for myself. But I think that they need to have better training programs as far as how they recruit. I said it before, and I'll always say this. I think they hire a lot of scared people. And when you give somebody who's scared a badge and a gun, nothing good is ever going to happen. But they disbanded their anti-crime unit, and it looks like crime has already gone up. The reason that they disbanded this is because there's talk of, so you are indemnified as a police officer, and they're starting to take that part of their contract away. So cops are now going to be personally liable for how they represent out on the streets. There's a good and bad to that. The good is that you're really going to have somebody who's thinking when they're out and representing in blue. But the also part of that is there's going to be a fear. And now if you have somebody who's scared with a badge and a gun and you add another layer of fear, I'm not sure where that's gonna, the trajectory of all that's gonna fall.
My only thing when it comes to back to defunding the police, when my mom and I, there was a night that we had, I was like 16, and you know, her husband, he wasn't her husband at the time, he was her boyfriend, and it was the last time he tried to violate me. Okay, I wasn't having it. It was the one time, you know, at some point people just be like, you know what, they either gonna fold or they're just gonna stand up. And so on that night, I was not having it. And I screamed and hollered, and me and my mom ran. And I bring this up because how great would it have been if instead of the police, somebody that has experience with domestic violence situations were sent to the home. At the end of the day, me and her had to pack our bags and leave. So when they talk about defunding the police, it's situations like that. When they talk about defunding the police, it's talking about situations where, do you remember a few years ago, an autistic man, you know, he had an episode, and he was in the middle of the street, and one of the counselors ran out to assist him, and the cops drew a gun on him, on the assistant, and and made him get on his I can't remember if his stomach or his back, and raise his hands in the air.
He got on his back.
How different would it have been if they had sent, right? How different would it have been if they had sent counselors ready to deal with special needs, the special needs community? How different would that have been? And that's when they talk about defunding the police, they talk about that. How different would it be if there was somebody that was sent to a school for a child with behavioral differences that would not, you know, calm down? Instead, they've sent the police who drags the kid on the ground and, you know, knocks him out. When they talk about defunding the police, that's what they're talking about. And unfortunately, you know, I don't know how many people are like down with that. You know, I don't know.
So here's another, and this is so completely off topic, but yet ties in for our mental health advocacy. When we have our child protective services, and they claim to be underfunded, understaffed, and all these things, and you have, what is it, 36 cases from a school yelling that a child is being abused, and they are found to have had not only physical trauma, mental trauma, and they're left freezing, and they die of hypothermia on their parents, quote unquote parents, driveway. And not a single case was heard, not a single, I'm just curious. So as much as we want to defund and reallocate and everything else, we want to hold those people accountable. We don't want to hold them accountable. I don't know where this goes. As we're reallocating funds and we begin to rethink about all these departments, I'm curious as to who do we charge with this? Is this part of like NYPD for mental health divisions? Is it separate department? Where does this go? What do we do?
Why not? Why can't there be certain police officers that are trained to do certain things?
So
Why do they all
that's
have to be trained? What if police officers that are hired directly from the military are hired to do specific tasks that are more leaning towards their militaristic skill? Or if there's certain people that are hired in police departments that are more proficient with like making friends with people in the neighborhood, community development programs, educational program, coming into schools and talking to the kids. What if we had, I mean,
funny enough that when you bring that up, apparently I didn't know this. Apparently, there's so I'll use New York State for an example. We have sheriff's department and your police department. While you think that they're the same thing, they're not. Did you know that the sheriff department is tasked with that? They have divisions for that.
no.
Didn't even know. Wouldn't even have
All
known.
I know is when I see a cop car, I get scared. I'm
Yeah.
not even like, and I don't think anything's gonna happen to me. It's just like, I just don't want to deal with that shit. I don't
Yeah.
have to deal with like trying to explain like where I'm going. Why do you need to know where I'm going? Why do you need to know where I came from? Just give me my fucking ticket because my blinker, I didn't signal correctly, or my tail light is out. I'm not, I that that's
Yeah.
my only interactions with I shouldn't say my only. Most of my interactions with cops have been when I've been pulled over. And it had me thinking about the time when we got pulled over and I was drinking. I wonder what if that situation would have happened the same way if I was by myself. It just makes me think. Like, I mean, I'm grateful that it happened the way it did, but it makes me wonder. It's like a black, a Puerto Rican, and a white person, all female, and he let us go. Like, should he have let me go?
But you didn't leave driving. You did not leave driving.
But he's still like, at the end of the day, it's like you would hope they always do that. That they let the person that wasn't drunk or be whatever drive.
Right.
But at the same time, should I have also been arrested for drinking and driving?
But see that this is where I feel like that interaction shows that you were with someone who wasn't scared. You were with someone who was like, damn it. Ran your information, found out that you know what, this person is not. There's no issues here. Ugh, stupid
But think about
girl,
how many
stupid
people
little
that
girl to go
happens
learn.
for. But how many people does that happen to? I mean, I don't want to talk it in because I don't want to come across like I'm against the cops or anything. I've called the cops. I've called them. Well, when we're going back to the defunding, I've called the cops when a light was out. Shouldn't there be like, I've called 911, I should say. Then there should be a division, the traffic division. You
Well,
know,
there you need like, wait a minute, you called 911 for a non-emergency?
I didn't know
Wait a
what other
minute.
number. If they,
It's the non-emergency number 311,
I didn't know
and
that.
every precinct. Oh, sorry,
Why
and
would I
every
call 911 if I knew that 311 was a number?
I don't know, but every precinct, depending on where you are, if you know what your precinct is, they have a non-emergency direct
I
number.
don't know. I
And
never knew
I
what it. I
don't.
don't know. I don't know that, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's something that should be highlighted instead of constantly
Yeah,
911. You don't see, and you
right.
don't see 311 on cop cars, do you? 911. You don't even see 911, honestly. You see,
No.
I don't. It's called this number for anonymous. Like that's the only thing I can remember seeing on a cop car. For me personally, is like if you see something, anonymous tip, call this
If
number.
you see something, say something.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the anonymous tip line.
Yeah.
If you see something that's shady.
Oh, that's so
I only know
interesting.
411 and 911. I didn't need the information. I needed to let them know that the light was out and people were
That's
about to have an accident. I've called
that's
911 because
311.
somebody is weaving in and out of traffic and they look drunk.
Yeah.
You send somebody that knows how to deal with alcoholics and drug, a cop that is in the drug and alcohol abuse division or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not going to send
Yeah.
somebody that deals with autistic children to go to the highway
Yeah.
patrol.
Yeah.
And that's when they say defund the police. Okay, keep $6 billion with the NYPD. That's fine. Allocate it correctly. And so
Yeah.
I have no problem with the word, or the verbiage of defund the police because it brings attention. We're sitting here talking about it.
Mhm.
I don't know if we would have been having this conversation. It was like, we would have had this conversation was like abolish the police, because that's so like polarizing.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
But if it was like, let's reallocate funds within the police department so that we can assist special needs patients,
Mental health
mental
issues,
health
yeah.
issues, people would have been like, yeah, okay, and kept it moving. Defund the police. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? It brings conversation.
But why didn't this outrage happen when we were taking money away from our after school programs,
Because
our
it's not
before
about,
school
because
programs,
the
our
focus right
training?
now is on Black people. Is, I mean, the education people that are concerned with education as their primary focus, they can do that. But right now, Black people are like, in addition to this, in addition to keeping your fucking knee off of our neck, we would like you to defund the police department so that you treat us like a human being and not an animal in a cattle shop. The defunding the police is a part of that long list of grievances that Black people have. It's just one of the many, but right now it's become a heightened a heightened topic of conversation. We also have, civil rights and, your your departments, Colin Kaepernick, sports. There's a million different things. You know what I mean? But defund the police was so polarizing. It's such a topic that hits so many people that's the thing that stuck out. So it's like, okay, this sticks out. Let's focus on this for a minute so they can understand
Yeah.
where we're coming from.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. My neck is sweating.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Ugh, there's a
It
fly.
is very hot and humid today in New York.
Tomorrow was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Um, there's a song called "Be a Father to Your Child" that I recommend. Actually, the first CD that I ever bought was by a rapper named Nikki D. Um, it's so weird because I bought her CD and LL Cool J's tape, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But she had a song at the time called "Daddy's Little Girl," and I used to listen to that song and be like, "Damn, I wish I could be Daddy's little girl." Like, my dad wasn't really around then. I saw him a couple
Yeah.
times, but so it's like you wanna. I think every girl wants to be Daddy's little girl, and every father. I don't know. I shouldn't say every father, but all the girls that I know, every single one of my friends, I got like 5 core friends. 3, no, I got 3, and a couple others. But anyway, I got like 5 friends, right? And every single one of them got a fucked up dad.
I
And
don't
every
know
girl
what it
wants
is.
a man that she could call daddy, like, and really mean that
Right?
shit. Daddy's little girl. And
Yeah.
I shout out
Step
my
up,
my
be
brother.
there, show up.
I've been looking at my brother's pictures with his daughter on his shoulders. I'm like, damn, he broke the
What's
cycle.
it like? What's
What's
it
that
what's
like?
it like to
I
have a
can't wait
dad
to
in
have
the
a
house?
conversation with her when she's like older. Like, so what was it like being on your dad's shoulders?
What was it like to have your dad acknowledge your existence and really be interested in
And
who
make an
you are,
effort. Make an effort.
develop as a person? What is it like
The
to like be at the breakfast table and be like, "Daddy, can I have juice?" And they're like, "Of course, pumpkin," or "Sweetheart," or "Babe," or "Little one."
So I
What's
have
that
2
like?
distinct memories of my dad from early on. When I was
Mm-hmm.
young, very young, I was like a teenager young. Um, I came to his house and he poured me this big ass glass of milk, and I wanted to please him so bad, and I drank the milk.
You choked on that milk,
I
is what you
choked
did.
on it. Years later, when I felt comfortable with the milk, I was like, I hate milk. I only eat it with cereal. And he
I
burst
remember.
out laughing. He's like, "Why didn't you say anything?" Because I sought his approval.
I remember my dad gave me a VHS tape of Fievel Goes West. And he was upset that I wasn't like jumping up for joy. And I was like, he's like, what, you don't like that? You don't watch movies? And I was like, I'm 14. No, I'm 12. Dad, I'm 12. This is a cartoon. And he's like, what? And I was like, no, you know what? This is great. Thank
It's
you
like,
so much.
okay, whatever.
As soon as I left, I think I threw it in the garbage. I just feel, I feel it's so important for my brother said it to me best. If a male, because you don't need male and female. It's not because every home is different. You need active people in raising of a child. You need active participants. If it happens to be male and female, and you have a daughter, if that male is not present, she will find gaps in unhealthy places.
I truly believe that. I
1,000%.
crazy. I just, like, I'm not gonna sit here and blame my dad for everything. You know what I mean? I can blame him for some things. I can blame my mom, my grandparents, myself, above all. But when it comes to choosing the right mate, I didn't have that man to tell me, nah, he ain't good enough. You're better than that. You know what I mean? And so, and even when I had a boyfriend, one of my boyfriends that I used to love, my dad met him, and he changed his name. And it was like funny, but at the same time, it's like he didn't even respect him. So how can I respect him?
Yeah.
My dad didn't even show him no respect. How can I respect this guy if I'm seeking respect from my dad, and the man I'm seeking respect from doesn't respect the person that I've chosen? Never has, really. Anyway, happy Father's Day. the other song I was talking about was called was by Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. Be a father to your child. I might try to post it tomorrow so you guys can get a glimpse of it, unless YouTube does Instagram does the copyright thing, then I won't post it. But Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs, Be a Father to Your Child. Definitely check that out. And as we outro, I'm going to play a little bit of it. Marissa, where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter. The Yep, yeah, yes podcast on Facebook. Any streaming device where you can find a podcast, all you have to do is look for the Yep, yeah, yes podcast.
Holler. And catch us on our Instagram Live for our recap show. Happy Father's Day, y'all. Be a father to your child.